Dean Hazel, the convocation has gathered.
Thank you. Please be seated. Today's a great day. Today's a festive day, and let's get started with a big round of applause for our graduates. I think the only thing not quite as festive is that we're not missing a football game to be here today, but there's always next year. Good afternoon. I'm Jay Hartzell, Dean of the McCombs School of Business. It's my honor and pleasure to welcome our Fall 2019 graduating class and their family and friends to this commencement ceremony. Graduates, when you first arrived at UT and on the 40 acres, you came with hopes of experiencing a first-rate business education and launching a bright future. We, the faculty and staff of the McCombs School, hoped that you would be dedicated students, that you would display noble characteristics of curiosity, compassion, and leadership, that you would demonstrate initiative and an entrepreneurial spirit, and that you would maintain the highest of ethical standards. I'm pleased to say that you have exceeded our expectations in every respect. We are very proud of you and delighted to have you carry forth the reputations of both the McCombs School of Business and the University of Texas at Austin into the world. Now, we just ask that you go on to change the world. After all, what starts here changes the world. No pressure. I would now like to introduce our commencement marshals. Dr. Tej Anant, Clinical Assistant Professor in the Information Risk and Operations Management Department, and Dr. Roland Atiase, Professor in the Department of Accounting. How about a round of applause? This year's student speaker is Ida Hishma. Ida is a consulting and change management major, originally from Rockwall, Texas. During her time at UT, Ida has been an active member of the McCombs Leadership Program, Texas Sweethearts, and the Undergraduate Mentorship Agency of Student Government. She's also served McCombs as a teaching assistant. Throughout her college time, Ida dedicated much of her time gaining work experience in the fields of consulting, oil and gas, law, and city government. Outside of the 40 acres, Ida enjoys traveling, reading, exploring new cuisines, and listening to live music. After graduating, Ida will be working in Dallas, Texas, for Mercer's Healthcare Consulting Division. She later plans to pursue graduate school. Ida, I hope you come back to UT for your graduate degree. Here to deliver a message on behalf of this year's graduating class is Ida Hishma.
Thank you, Dean Hartzell. Hello, everyone. I had my wisdom teeth removed the summer before my senior year of high school. I remember the dentist putting the IV in to knock me out for the procedure, and then waking up what felt like 5 minutes later. After sufficiently embarrassing myself in front of the office staff, and while still heavily drugged, my mom helped me get into the car and drove me home. On the way, I talked to my brother and father. Each were trying to get me to say something funny, like in those viral wisdom teeth videos. But the drug had a strange effect on me. I wasn't super goofy or hilarious. Instead, the drug acted like this incredibly strong truth serum. Suddenly, I'm telling my immediate family all my deepest thoughts and feelings, and I can't stop. I'm sure every college kid in this audience is shuddering at the thought of it. My name is Ida Hishma, and like all of you, I'm graduating today. Unlike all of you, I have a trip to the dentist's office to thank for my presence here on this stage. You see, during that summer, I was having frequent conversations with my parents about college and my plans for the future. Studying business at McCombs was my dream since I was 14 years old. But my parents did not want me to go to UT because they were afraid of so many things. They were filled with doubts and worries like, should we send our youngest child and only daughter out to a new city all alone? Will she be safe? Can we even afford it? I knew getting to UT would be an uphill battle for me because of these barriers. But everything changed the day I walked into my dentist's office and had my wisdom teeth removed. I got home and made my way to my bed, where I instantly flopped down in fetal position and started sobbing. I told my mother how badly I wanted to come to UT and study at McCombs. I told her it was my dream and I would do anything for it. I remember her looking down at me with tears in her eyes and telling me that I would go to UT. I guess that was all I needed to hear because I quickly fell asleep soon after. My mom agreed in that moment that I would study at McCombs without talking it through with my dad or any hesitation. I know she did this because that IV sedation gave me the courage to reveal to her and admit to myself the deepest desire of my heart to graduate from this university. How could a mom say no to that? So, through the generous support of my parents, my community, and this university, I made it here. I studied consulting and change management under some of the most brilliant professors in the nation, went to football games and parties, explored Austin, and yes, even made lifelong friends. I studied abroad in Barcelona, interned in Dallas, signed my job offer, and now, after much fast forwarding, here I am with all of you. The day I got my wisdom teeth removed was the day that I learned the importance and power of knowing the deepest desire of your heart. It was only because I wanted to come to UT so badly that I made it here. And now that my time here is over, I have to figure out my new dream. You might already know your dream or the next big thing you want to accomplish. If so, I envy you. Or you might be where I am right now, searching yourself to know what you want more than anything else. If that's the case, I recommend IV sedation. It worked out for me the first time. But seriously, take time to reflect, and not just on big days like today. This time in college taught me that knowing who you are is the only way to know what you truly want. More importantly, understanding yourself will allow you to love yourself and others more deeply. It sounds so simple, but so many people forget to reflect when they get too busy in their day-to-day lives. We are destined to change, so embrace your evolutions and the vulnerability that inevitably comes with them. Make getting to know yourself a priority at every stage in your life, and never forget about yourself. If you'll allow me to pass on one more piece of advice for those of you trying to discover your new dream, I will say this. Never allow fear to dictate your future. When you search yourself to know your dream, take stock of the barriers in front of you, but do not let them stop you from admitting what you truly want. Let yourself tell someone what that dream is, and find people who can support you on your journey to get there. Have the courage to look past your fears and reach, knowing you'll end up exactly where you need to be. Thank you for letting me be a part of this day, for listening to my story, and for sharing this home with me these past few years. It's been the privilege of my life to be a Longhorn, and now a Texas Ex. I hope you feel the same, and I wish you luck for the rest of your lives. Congratulations, class of 2019.
That was great, Ida, and I think you can see how and why we're so proud of our students. I'm going to try to figure out next spring if we can mail acceptance letters with coupons for wisdom teeth removal. Today's distinguished commencement speaker is Mr. Joseph Kopser. Joseph Kopser is a serial entrepreneur and expert in energy and national security issues. Currently, he serves as an executive in residence at the McCombs School of Business at the University of Texas. In addition, he is president of Grayline after he co-founded and served as CEO of Ride Scout before it was acquired by Mercedes. He served in the U.S. Army for 20 years, earning the Combat Action Badge, Army Ranger Tab, and Bronze Star. He's a graduate of West Point with a BS in Aerospace Engineering and also received a master's from the Kennedy School at Harvard. In 2013, he was recognized as a White House Champion of Change for his efforts in energy and transportation. In 2014, Ride Scout won the U.S. Department of Transportation Data Innovation Award, and in 2017, he co-authored the book Catalyst. He is the chairman of the Board of Advisors for Clean Tech's Foundation, an economic development and professional association for clean tech. On a more personal note, I've had the pleasure of getting to know Joseph over the last few years, and I'm thrilled he's now back on campus as our executive in residence. We've given him free rein to go make a difference, as his usual practice, and I look forward to seeing the next set of impacts he will make for our students, our school, and society. Please join me in welcoming Joseph Kopser.
Well, thank you, and Dean Hartzell and the other deans that were part of allowing me to share this day with you. It's a huge honor. So first of all, I not only want to thank the deans, but the staff and faculty. So at this point, class of 2019, give them a hand. All right, class of 2019, you are this close to being there. However, you would not have gotten where you are in these front rows if it hadn't been for the people in the back rows. So I want you all to make a lot of noise for them, and parents, friends, family, give yourselves a hand as well. This is a huge day for a lot of reasons, and I've had the honor to be a part of a lot of graduations and to hear a lot of speeches, not just at my graduation and those of my 3 daughters, but also the students that I've been able to teach over the years. And of all those speeches, the only ones I ever remember were the short ones. So I'm going to try to honor that today with advice I got from an old boss in the Army who said, when it comes to speaking, be brief, be bright, and then be gone. So that's what we're going to do. But before I go, I just want to leave with you one phrase. And it's a pretty big concept, so I'm going to break it down into a bunch of life hacks for you. But this one phrase is very simple, and it's carried me through everything to this day. And it is for you to understand that people will be what they can see. People will be what they can see. And there's so much inside of that. I'll give you one example, one fantastic example of that. Robert Smith, very successful Austin businessman, Vista Equity Partners. You may have heard that earlier this year, he went and did something incredible, went to a commencement exercise at Morehouse College, and during his speech, he announced that he was taking the wealth that he had accrued through the years and was using it to pay it forward by paying down all of the student debt of the graduating class of Morehouse this year. That is what we mean by people being what they can see and the inspiration that provides others. So today I have a very big announcement of what I'm going to give to you, the class of 2019. Free advice. Okay. Look, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm not there yet to give you all free graduation. But one of you, or 10 of you, is going to take this free advice, which you are going to turn into something priceless. You will pay it forward, and you will pay the debts of the class of 2039 or 49 and beyond. But here's the problem that you face going out into this new world. The economy of today is changing faster than it ever has in the history of civilization. The forces of globalization, artificial intelligence, the movement of people into cities, it's going to disrupt your future in a way that no generation your age prior to you has ever seen. But here's the good news, that if you can maintain the awareness of being part of what we call learning organizations, those that study what works, and more importantly, understands why it doesn't, and then fix it. Because when you go out into an organization, if you remember that people will be what they can see, and you embody that life learning and lifelong pursuit of understanding what's going on around you, you'll be fine. And as we used to say in the Army, soldiers are not in the Army, soldiers are the Army. You will not be going into a company or creating your own. You are the company. How you choose to conduct yourself and how you treat others will set a tone for everyone around you. But now here's the good news. If you believe this idea that people will be what they can see, you're already doing the first thing right, which is to set the example, to be the role model. Behind you in these rows here in Bass Concert Hall are nieces and nephews, cousins, little brothers, little sisters, older brothers and sisters who see what you have done. They now want to be you. They want to learn from watching the hard work that you put in growing up as a kid, applying yourself in college, and what that has led to. And that idea of role modeling is important, but there's a darker side to it. And you're going to see it when you're out in your companies going forward. There is a toxic leadership. There is a negative aspect to leadership that I hope you understand is not what right looks like. Because if you can role model what's right about treating people in a positive way, about leading by example, then your peers, the people that will later work for you, will build better organizations going forward because they will be following your example. They will see what you did and tell those stories. But there's another thing to consider. You want to be the change. You should seek out the opportunity to be the change you want to see. When you join your organization, you don't like something about what you see, be the entrepreneur and change it. It's what I learned from my 6th grade teacher, Mrs. Audrey Grievous. She was a civil rights icon in the 1950s and 60s, and when I had her in class as a skinny little 12-year-old, she says, when you see a problem, go and fix it. Go and fix it. Don't wait on others. At its very heart, that's what entrepreneurship is about, is solving problems. But there's another aspect. What you need to understand is that through role modeling, you have a responsibility to build the next bench, to be able to focus on mentorship. And mentorship and life coaching doesn't even have to be anything more than showing an interest in the people that work with you or work with you. Perhaps the most important question I ever learned about mentorship came from one of the Army's most senior graduates of the University of Texas, a gentleman named Robert W. Cohn. And before he passed away, he made it clear to everyone who worked for him, if you want to take care of folks and mentor their careers going forward, ask them one simple question. So what do you want to do next? What do you want to do next? Too many bosses have ground their workforce into the dirt because they want to step on them for quick profit or quick reward. But it is those bosses who are more concerned at looking down than looking up that take care of the people and ask, what do you want to do next? What does your roadmap look like in the future? And when you get that right, nothing's going to hold you back. And you now have an opportunity to pay it forward. Over these years here at McCombs, you've met lots of students who you see promise in. You've met lots of students that just need a hand up. That's where you come in and get to be that role model and to pay that forward. But in this pursuit, people are not going to know what you were able to do and accomplish and the value of that hard work unless you tell your story. We know the literature is out there. Not everyone tells their story in the same way. Sometimes you will just tell your story by quiet examples of leadership. But other chances, when you have it, pull that person aside and say, you know, this went well today, but in my previous job with a previous boss, wow, we screwed this up 6 ways to Sunday. And the more you can tell your story of your mistakes, it gets even easier for those with you to follow your lead because they see the way that you were able to learn and grow from your mistakes because we're all going to make mistakes. It's how you bounce back from them that is the true mark of character. And so on a lighter note, because I know I sound too serious, but on a lighter note, I want to make sure you've got some of these quick, simple life hacks. You're going out into a world where others before you have become who they are by seeing the people around them, by the popular culture of our time. So I am asking you, so that you better understand your boss or your boss's boss, spend the next several weekends over the holiday break binge watching every 80s movie you can find. And then when you've gone through the best of the 80s, go back to the 70s and the 60s and just keep going. Because the more you understand how we came to be, the easier it is for you to fit in, to be a part of the team, and to go forward. So rather than and resisting the opportunity to say, okay, boomer, understand through their music and their pop culture, how they came to be, in the exact same way that if they're a good boss, they're seeking out your popular culture to better understand you. And so in closing, it's about remembering that at the end of the day, of all the teams I've been a part of in the military, in business, in academia, in politics, of all those worlds, all the problems came down to one concept, and that's people. And people too often forgetting that people will be what they can see. They either follow good leadership in a good direction, or they take toxic leadership and make it worse. So some of my favorites, real quick, besides watching every 80s movie that you can, it's a simple concept, and it's rest. R-E-S-T. I had a boss once, his name was George Casey. He ran the war in Iraq. I've never met a person with perhaps more responsibility than maybe a leader of a country. And even in the 24-hour operations of combat, it was important for him as a leader and you to take this heed and this advice, to pause, to rest, to read. Read something beyond the world that you're in. E, to exercise, to burn off that stress, to stay healthy so that you can lead by example by always being present and fit. Sleep. Get your rest. Learn to nap, and for goodness sakes, turn your phone off when you sleep. The buzzing all night long, I have no idea how you get any restful sleep. And then lastly, think. Unplug. Unplug the phone. Go for a walk. Sit out on your front porch or on your couch without the TV on and reflect, as Ida said. Reflect and think about where you are and where you're going. And then for me, and the way I raised my daughters, and the way I coached teams and built organizations in the private sector, public sector, and all throughout, I reminded them as often as I could 3 simple ideas. Be happy. Just try to be happy. Nobody likes working for the grumpy boss, the person who only sees the negative. So try to be happy. You won't have happy days every day, but try to be happy. Number 2, do the right thing. You know what it is. All the people in the back row spent the last 20 plus years showing you, teaching you. You know what it is. The question is, when the time comes, do you choose to do the right thing? But try. And thirdly, have a good thing to say. There's enough bad things going on that you can complain about people or things all day long, but it accomplishes very little. Be happy, do the right thing, and have a good thing to say. And remember that at this moment, you are the role model, not just for friends and families, but people in your hometown who saw what you came and accomplished here at the University of Texas. And if you can remember that people will be what they can see, and you remain humble, and you seek opportunities to pay it forward, you will not only have the eyes of Texas upon you, but every person in your organization will look to you to do the right thing, to have a good thing to say, and to keep the culture happy and positive and moving forward. If you can do all that, you will go out and change the world. Class of 2019, thank you very much for having me today, and congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Joseph. I know I'll have things to take away. I would start with the John Hughes films. A little bit of 16 Candles will do you right. Now it's my pleasure to turn it over to our newly minted undergraduate dean. Dr. Doug Morris is a professor of operations management in the Department of Information, Risk, and Operations Management, and he's just recently been selected as the new associate dean for the undergraduate program. We welcome Professor Morris to his very first BBA commencement as dean. Thank you, Doug, for taking on this role and continuing to advance one of the top undergraduate business programs in the entire world. With that, Dean Morris is here to present this year's degree candidates. Please join me in welcoming here.
Thank you, Dean Hartzell. I would like to begin by saying that I am delighted to be your new undergraduate dean. Additionally, I would like to thank Dr. David Platt for the wonderful job he did as undergraduate dean for the past 7 years. He passed on to me an outstanding program and an excellent organization. While Dr. Platt wasn't able to be with us here today, what I'd like you to do is join me in recognizing him with a round of applause. It is now time to individually recognize the members of the Fall 2019 graduating class of the McCombs School of Business. Graduates, before I invite you to the stage, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the efforts of the faculty and staff members of the McCombs School's BBA program. They are dedicated to their work, greeting you at orientation when you arrived, helping you find classes and jobs, teaching you and testing you, and today they honor your accomplishments as you move on in your life. They are seated behind me and around the room, and I ask you to join me in offering them our thanks. You will notice that many students are wearing one or more cords or medallions on their robes. These are indicators of special accomplishments. The burnt orange cords are worn by college scholars, and the bronze medallions are worn by distinguished college scholars. These symbols of academic achievement reflect the grade point average earned by the students during their junior and senior years. Students wearing blue and green cords have added a global dimension to their business education by participating in a McCombs BBA Study Abroad program. Students wearing red and gold cords are the graduates of the Canfield Business Honors Program. And students wearing bronze medallions on burnt orange ribbons are graduates of the McCombs Leadership Program. We will now call the students to the stage by major. Please note that they are not required to be in alphabetical order so that they can sit with their friends. Graduates, we have provided a photographer to take pictures of you with Dean Hartzell, so please, no selfies while on stage. Now will the graduate candidates please stand when directed and proceed to the stage for recognition. Dean Hartzell will make a presentation to each of you, assisted by BBA Assistant Dean Arthur Allert. As you finish crossing the stage, I will move your tassel from right to left to symbolize the successful completion of your undergraduate studies. Then please return to your seat and remain there until everyone has been recognized and the ceremony has concluded. The ushers will assist you.
We will begin by recognizing the students from accounting. Here to acknowledge these degree candidates is Dr. Christina Zavanakis, Senior Lecturer and Assistant Chair in the Accounting Department.
Maria Fernanda Hernandez Reyes. Mario Trujillo. Kylie Ann Ting. Hannah Cash Brown. Yeonjin Song. Agusti Ayu Tiara Ciccadini. Daniel Diaz. Ana Gabriela Cruz. Brooke Elaine Marquette. Cameron Elise G. Ushika Kumar. Jarrett Anthony Chris. Aaron Timothy Haney. And now the integrated Master of Professional Accounting students. Samuel Henderson. Daniel Chang. Lee Young. June Zheng. Josh Weidig.
Here to recognize students in the Canfield Business Honors Program is Dr. Andres Almazan, professor in the Department of Finance and director of the Canfield Business Honors Program.
Jocelyn Vary Walker. Thomas Edward Jordan.
At this time, we will recognize our finance majors. Will Way, Distinguished Senior Lecturer in Finance and Associate Chair of the Finance Department, will present these degree candidates.
Nikolaev Nedev. Christian Ross Barham. William Andrew Bentley. Santiago Jacques Pelletier de las Rivas. Hasim Mireles Venegas. Taylor Vu. Augustine Enriquez. Will McMillan Wakefield. Anastasia Robertovna Gay. Junsung Lee. Tej Sheshev Parikh. Lucas Gonzalez. Jalun Song. Sharoz Ayaz. Jack Arthur Novak. Garrett Mitchell Jordan. Michael Charles Smith. Raj Anil Duchia. Ronald Robert Crevo III. Christopher Daniel Liang. Lindell Galvan. Ignacio Alonso Garcia. Carl Matthew Williams. Matthew Ryan Batista. Kyle Judson Lewis. Brandon Michael Fryer. Mitchell Douglas Zwang. Marissa Marie Messick. Pablo Ramirez. Ileana Lynn Martinez. Miriam Kaspati. Colin A. Tierney. Cole Robert Kofnovec. Zachary Nicholas Wendell. Utsav Ghosh. Harrison Haas.
We will now recognize majors in Management Information Systems, Science and Technology Management, and Supply Chain Management. Clint Tuttle, Senior Lecturer in Management Information Systems in the Department of Information Risk and Operations Management, is here today to present these degree candidates.
Desiree Davidson. Luke Wesley Meisel. Brandon Matthew Holmes. Cameron Alexander Mogadam. J.T. Lindsay. Douglas B. Snyder. Hao Qing Tian. Shuai Gua. Aurora Eleanor Reinmiller. Jordy Tello. Johnny Chan. Natalia Trebaldos. Jeanette Amparo Helscher. Julissa Parales. Madison Marie Hesse. Mitchell Kingsley Cantway. Andrew Huang. Mir Farhan Ali. Munish Umatia. Alishan Karedia. Jaewee Yang. Selena Margarita Kuczynski. Kristen Alexandra Cervantes. Sophia Adele Kellner. Sydney Walden. Ronsi Shu. Miguel Alejandro Vidal. Cameron Jacob Woolery. Stephen Swacker. Timothy John Machinsky II. Jose Refugio Garcia.
Next, we will recognize the students in the management major. Dr. Katie Pritchett, lecturer in the management department, is here to present these degree candidates.
Alexandra Dawn Vendry. Michaela Karina Cantu. Congratulations. Scott Martin Cahill. Ida Morena Hishma.
Now to present our marketing and international business majors is Dr. Linda Golden, Professor of Marketing and former Chair of the Marketing Department.
Ali S. Ahmed. Erin Elizabeth Wiley. Luis Antonio Veras Landron. Taylor Lynn Clark. Alexandria Lee Wiley. Samantha K. Collins. Anna Rachel Aronson. Angel Abra Star Roberts. Ernesto Frausto. Seth Allen Pilger. Maria Fernanda Saldana Gonzalez. Sophia Ann Shador. Carl James Ferguson. Genesis Marie Hernandez. Daisy Gonzalez. Lauren Esperanza Rodriguez. Marcus Gabriel Goulardo. Brenda Salcido Perez. Maros Shabnam Ramana. Andrew Sheldon Bates.
So my notes say after applause dies down. So I think we missed a step. How about a round of applause for our graduates? And Joseph hit on the same theme, but I think, as you said, the people in the front rows owe a debt of gratitude to the tuition writers in the back rows. So would the people, friends and family, all please stand and be recognized? Friends and family of our graduates, please stretch your legs. Thank you. Graduates, today marks the first day of the rest of your life as a Texas Ex. You are now part of one of the most powerful and largest alumni networks in the world, and your university needs you to stay connected, stay informed, and to always care about the value of the degree you just earned and the continued pursuit of excellence at our university. Here to tell you about the McCombs Alumni Network is the president of the McCombs BBA Advisory Board, Ms. Maria Garate. Maria earned her BBA in marketing from the McCombs School of Business and has gone on to achieve multiple certifications and accomplishments in professional human resources management. Maria is a member of both the Texas and National Societies of Human Resource Management and was the 2015 to 17 Foundation co-chair in Texas. She's held leadership positions of the Staffing Management Alliance and president in 2014, is on the board of trustees for the service organization Dallas HR, and is the HR advisor for Hugs Cafe, a nonprofit organization. Currently, Maria serves on the Texas Exes Council, the Texas Exes, is a network advisory board member for the Texas Exes National UT chapter, and is a Dallas Texas Exes chapter current board member and past president. Please join me in welcoming Maria to the podium.
Great. Thank you, Dean Hartzell. Wow, that was me. Great. Good afternoon, everybody. You guys look lovely today. As I was asked to speak today, I thought about my own graduation. 21 years ago yesterday, I sat in this same great hall, waiting for my name to be called, surrounded by friends, family, and an army of soon-to-be Macomb graduates. Dear graduates, welcome to the family. It is an honor for me to stand here and share a few words with you today of why it's so important to me to be part of this Macomb's family. Thanks to this family, I have grown in my professional career, and as for my personal life, I have friendships that will last a lifetime. Raise your hand if you know a Longhorn right now living in another country or you are from another country. Raise your hand. Hand higher. Need to see you. I want you to look around the room, everybody, and see the endless opportunities of vacation-free lodging. Now, see who had their hand up? Where do you live? No. But the point I'm trying to make is that you have the opportunity to engage and connect with alumni with their own rich cultures, with diversity of thought from all corners of the world, and we are tied by one common thread, Texas Macombs. As Dean Hartzell mentioned, I've been involved in a lot of different organizations, but my personal purpose and motto is to connect people to each other, to a vision, and to reach their full potential. That's how I live my life. I thank my parents for teaching me the meaning of hard work, integrity, and honesty, and for allowing my siblings and I the freedom to have our own identity and forge our own paths. This family reinforces that. During my travels around the world, from the mountaintop in Masada in Israel to the subway in Beijing and El Mercado in Mexico City, I started many conversations simply by seeing a hint of burnt orange or a Macomb's logo or our beloved Longhorns. It is an immediate connection to pride, honor, and tradition. Since leaving the 40 acres, I have formed great business relationships, secured internship for many talented students, and built lasting friendships. These and 1,000 more are reasons why I give back to Macomb's and our beloved university. My involvement as a volunteer goes back to 2001 when I moved to Miami. And of course, I wanted to keep a piece of Texas with me. I started attending various Texas Exes events and continued when I moved to Dallas. Since then, I have volunteered hundreds of hours to a variety of programs, met some of the most notable and honorable Longhorns, and participated in some amazing events, including this one. It's an accomplished for me to be here today and a check on my bucket list. Thank you for that. People who are not UT grads often ask me why I spend so much of my free time involved with Macomb's and Texas Exes. My response is simple. I am protecting my investment. I am taking care of my family, sharing its value, and investing in its future, making sure it continues to succeed for many generations to come. I invite you to do the same. All of you, I can see you. There are a number of ways for you guys to give back, big and small, from monetary donations to volunteering. Find your way. And when you're ready, if you move to a different city, Ida, I already met Ida, she's going to Dallas, and I already got her for the chapter. Whatever city you move to, make sure you join your local chapter. Volunteer as a mentor, or sponsor a student organization, or hire an intern. And when you're ready, donate to a program of your choosing or fund a scholarship. Help us continue to promote and protect the future of our university and our McCombs programs. I invite you to connect with me, and I challenge you to one day be on this stage asking the next generation to do the same. Above all, stay engaged, stay connected, and pay it forward. And remember, like Dean Hartzell said, what starts here changes the world. We are Texas McCombs. Hook 'em. Congratulations, grads.
Thank you, Maria. One of our greatest assets of our school is our alumni network, and Maria, you're a fantastic example of that. And as she said, get involved, stay involved, and make a difference. Thanks for all you do, Maria. I really appreciate it. Before we close, I want to add my own personal congratulations to all of our graduates. Commencement ceremonies remind me of how fortunate we all are to be Longhorns, and what a special and noteworthy accomplishment it is to graduate from Texas McCombs. You all are graduating from the best business school in the best state and the best country in the world, and you should pause to appreciate and celebrate that fact. And I hope you will all continue to work hard to ensure that we improve our reputation and our impact on business and society even further in years to come. We will close our ceremony in the traditional UT way. So we will all join our new graduates in singing The Eyes of Texas. Please stand and join me in welcoming Miraj Rahman, Marketing and Plan 2 Honors Program graduate, who will lead us in singing The Eyes of Texas. And congratulations to the fall class of 2019. It's all you.
Horns up for those of you who don't know.